my channel. And today me and my wife are heading to the Gisburn Forest here in the Ribble Valley. It's a nice snowy Sunday, and yeah, we just thought we'd see what the place is about. I've actually been to Gisburn a few times, driven through, done a bit of metal detecting there in the past, but I've not actually been to the famous Gisburn Forest itself, so we'll just kind of see what it's about really, and kind of take you on a tour. So much snow compared to where we live, but we finally made it. This is quite a cool shot here.
Can't go the back train.
Right, train. What's this way? Stocks Reservoir. Sort of breakthrough. So it's actually quite alright so far. There's it's just a standard forest. We're heading to some reservoir, which is supposed to be quite nice. See what we find on the way. What's the reservoir called? Stocks Reservoir. So let's see what there is. This is something I found here, the Lost Village. I think they're just like local landmarks. Got the vicarage, an old church, an old school. So I'll have to see if we kind of come across any of those things on the way. Yeah, so this is the kind of stuff I really like stumbling across when on these sorts of walks. We've got some old ruins of some sort of a building over there, which we'll take a closer look at. I think there's snow so deep here, we're not really going to get a closer look on foot, but if you just have a look here, I'll zoom it in. I mean, this would have been some sort of a, I don't know, a hut or someone's residence hundreds of years ago, which is now derelict. Obviously has a do not cross or do not enter sign in front of it because it's so dangerous. But just here, right in the middle of nowhere, there's some river that flows through here, which you can't really see because of the snow, but you can see why, you know, they would have built it in such a nice spot like this. Perfect hunting ground, water source nearby. Also, we found some like a bird watching building or lookout. Yeah, now back, oh god, they've broke through the ice, so back through the forest. So now it's getting really kind of remote. It's got some almost like Christmas trees there in the middle. Snow seems to get deeper, but really, you know, really peaceful, really quiet. Not many people about, you know, which is why, you know, people actually come here for that peace and quiet, you know, and just to kind of disconnect from, you know, the business of the real world. I mean, look at these views. I mean, this is what, to me, England is all about. I mean, when most people hear of the UK and England, they, you know, think of London and, you know, Manchester, the big cities, but not these remote, you know, beautiful places such as this. saw this off in the distance, which you can't get to unfortunately, but try to zoom in, some ancient, looks like at least medieval, sort of a farmyard or residence here in the middle of nowhere, which would have housed a family. You know, people would have been working these fields back in the day. Yeah, I do really enjoy walking around these areas and being such a history nerd, and you know, having an interest in metal detecting. I just think of the, you know, the hidden treasures buried out here, you know, considering I've come across so many good finds on open fields. Here traces of some iconic British dry stone walls which still stand after so many centuries. So this area is actually really rich in history, the area of Gisburn. And I actually used to go metal detecting in some of these areas, one of the metal detecting groups that I was a part of. And I mean, some of the people used to find Viking artifacts, Roman artifacts, things from the Bronze Age, spearheads, medieval coins, you know, which I saw in person. And there's actually a medieval church here in Gisburn, which I haven't had the chance to visit yet, but certainly will at some point. Yeah, I think we're going to head back now. It's getting a bit cold, I don't want to walk too far out, but there was a really nice church that I saw on the drive here, you know, with some, you know, really old graves, which I thought would be interesting to have a look at. So we'll go there next and just have a wander. Here's some more ruins which I missed on the way to where we went. As you can see, I mean, it's quite hard to see with the snow, but this would have been some old farmhouse or building. So I've just pulled up here to the St James's churchyard here, which seems like in the middle of nowhere. There's quite a lot of graves around here, but I'll just give you a tour of the church so you can see what it's like. So see if we can actually get inside. I mean, usually these churches are open on a Sunday. Let's have a look. I mean, look at that. Got an old altar here. Very small chapel indeed. But just to think, you know, how much effort went into this place, you know, seemingly in the middle of nowhere, but people from all across the area, you know, all the locals came together to build this place of worship. And here is something as well that you see in most churches, some sort of a plaque to commemorate all the local lads who fought in the First World War and also the Second World War. So this altar was seemingly presented by William Wilkinson, July 1875. So I think we'll leave the church, maybe have a look at some of the graves and then head off home. Yeah, so it's quite an unusual graveyard. I mean, look at all this space and how scattered the graves are. You know, for such a small church, it's, you know, quite a big piece of land just for the graves. Let's have a look at them. I mean, these seem quite unusual. I think the date, most of the graves date around the 19th century. As you can see here. These are a bit newer, of course, based on the dates. So that comes to the end of the video and time for me to go home. So yeah, as you can see, it's just such a nice area worth visiting, and so peaceful as well. So, you know, if you're ever in the local area, you know, do give the place a chance. So that being said, I'll see you in the next video.